right off the bat, every artist owns their work. Ownership belongs to the artist as soon as they produce the work. A non-legal way to do to have ownership to your work would be to actually just timestamp it. And timestamping means sending everything that you have, whether it's preliminary sketches, its final works, its photographs of the work, just the process of your work would be to send it to yourself in the mail. And so what that does is that it puts a timestamp when it comes in the mail through the Post Office of Canada, which is a government-owned institution, which then actually gives you a legal timestamp that can be held up in court without having to take legal activity. So there's different ways you can copyright your work. There's non-legal, there's very high level, which would just basically be putting a copyright symbol on your artwork off the bat. So right away, any artist owns the rights to their work, and it's solely theirs. If you can't afford legal action, and this is just for reproduction, you can just be putting a copyright symbol onto your work directly or on any images that are used in web and print. It's best to time date them, so you can either include a year or you can include a watermark. So the next level up for artists who, let's say, have work traveling overseas or who won't necessarily have hands-on control of their work would be to register and copyright their work at the Canadian Intellectual Property Office, and that's usually done for $60 a piece. The best way for an artist to make sure that they're getting compensated for reproduction is to make sure that they have a contract set. And in that contract, it should have all the terms about how often the piece is going to be reproduced and what the rate is that's going to be paid out every time that the piece is reproduced. So an artist always wants to have a contract set whenever they're giving out their work for anything that's being massed or reproduced. If you don't have a contract set, then you're giving the person or the buyer permission to use the work in whichever way they want, for however long they want. So basically, you've let go of your rights to collect any type of income or any type of commission off of the work. Standard artist rates across the board, whether you're a curator, a visual artist, a photographer, depending on what you're looking for, can be found on the Carfax site, and that's the Canadian Artist Representation site, which is carcc.ca. So when you sell your work, you actually do not automatically sell the rights to your work. Your work will always belong to you. The only time you can actually sell the rights of your work is if it's stipulated in a contract, and that should be something that's negotiated before the point of sale happens, because there's a lot of actual legal activity or copywriting that has to happen when you're selling the rights to your work.